Hey everyone, this is Bob Cargill. How are you? This is Monday, September 26, 2016. Again, I'm Bob Cargill at Cargill Creative on Twitter. And it's a beautiful afternoon. I'm taking a short walk during my lunch break. And as I often like to do, I am going to talk about social media via Periscope. So I'm coming to you live, unscripted, unrehearsed. Thought about it a little in my head for a few minutes, what I was going to talk about. And it's really a follow-up to what I talked about late last week. And that is about being always on social media, the importance of having virtually being present 24/7, if you will. So I talked the other day about the importance of having a lot of pre-written, scheduled in advance content, which does simulate a presence of you being pretty much always on, virtually 24/7. That's important, scheduling all of that content. For instance, right now, I'm outdoors, obviously. I'm not in front of my computer, but I could theoretically have some tweets that are scheduled to go out right now. That's pre-written, scheduled in advance content that every person using social media for business should have lined up in the queue across as many channels as possible, okay? That's important. Advertising is critical. Promoting your content. And I've talked a lot about that in the past, and I will obviously talk a lot more about that in the future. What is next is real-time social media, and that's tweeting from events, live streaming such as this. This is real-time social media, all very, very important. There are so many ingredients to success on social media, but the one I'm coming to you today about is the always-on idea, and that's the idea. It is all of the above, meaning it's scheduling content in advance, it's promoting content, it's having a real-time presence, but it's also listening. It is also using listening dashboards and third-party tools and just being present, either you or your team, looking for opportunities to engage, listening for when your brand is mentioned. And when your brand is mentioned, having a quick and appropriate response time. That's why Facebook now has a badge that can be featured on your page if you are, I'm looking across the street here, if you are within a 7-day period responsive, within, I believe it's 15 minutes or less, 90% of the time you can get this badge on your page that shows how responsive you are. That's a good thing. That's customer service at its best. Twitter is also doing something similarly. If you enable the customer service badge, I'm not exactly sure that's what it's called, but it's something like that on Twitter, it will either algorithmically calculate your response time, or you can show a certain response time that you have. In other words, 24/7 or between certain hours, etc. So this shows two of the biggest social media channels, Facebook and Twitter, are putting a premium, making that a priority, realizing that brands and professionals on social media are using these channels for customer service, and that customers themselves are flocking to social media for these reasons. And I've talked about this before, I've written about it before, we'll talk about it again and write about it again in the future. People are going. There's proof, there's data. It is one of the main reasons people are flocking to social media in droves, and that is to talk to brands, to connect with brands. As I've said, social media levels the playing field for all, meaning you could have somebody who, making this up, lives in obscurity, only has 100 followers, who could cause a big firestorm on social media by complaining about a big brand and making a stink about that big brand. Big brands don't want that. They don't want anyone to be publicly, of course, chastising, criticizing, complaining about them. So again, this is the importance of listening on social media. This is the importance of being always on. So it's going both ways. It is promoting, publishing, sharing, tweeting, videotaping, taking pictures virtually 24/7. But it is also listening virtually 24/7, setting notifications on your mobile device to be alerted when your brand is mentioned, watching for sentiment, both good and bad, and responding when people praise you and when people complain about you. And it can happen to the best companies out there, okay? Meaning, don't think because you're not hearing complaints, people aren't complaining about you. So proactively go out and seek to filter through the noise and find what people are saying about you. That's always on social media. It's scheduling the content so you have that virtual 24/7 presence. It's promoting your content so it's reaching people you couldn't otherwise. It's real-time marketing, real-time content producing and sharing, and it's listening. It is filtering through the noise to hear mentions about you and your brand and responding to them promptly. This is Bob Cargill at Cargill Creative on Twitter, coming to you from Braintree Street in Allston on Monday, September 26, 2016. Thanks for listening. We will see you again soon. Bye-bye.